Good morning. Hope you're having a fantastic start to your day. And for all of you moms and dads out there, we are going to kick the show off, we hope, with some ideas that will make the next several weeks a lot easier for you. Because I remember so vividly when my kids were little and I would get them home from that last day of school, which we didn't have this year. And the first few days of summer and sleeping in were so much fun. And all it took was 3 or 4 days and I would hear the dreaded, "I'm bored" words, and I thought, what am I going to do? And this year that's even harder for parents because summer camps are in such a disarray. It's hard to know who's doing what. So who has come to the rescue for us this morning but our good friend Karen Dewhirst at the Creative Discovery Museum, not only with something fun and inexpensive that you can do today, but to let you know about some ways that they're still bringing that summer camp experience to you, even though it's virtually. So good morning to you, Karen.
Good morning. How are you this morning?
Well, I'm fine. I'm not bored. But do you remember when your kids were little, you would hear the same thing?
I did. And I had a secret weapon. It was called Play-Doh. And so today we're going to talk about an easy way to make salt dough. And it's so simple. You have these ingredients in your cupboard already. All you need is a half a cup of water, some measuring cups. You'll need a half cup measure and a 1 cup measure. You'll need a half a cup of salt, so make sure you've got plenty of salt.
Yep.
That's why it's called salt dough, right? And some plain old white flour, just plain old white flour. You need 1 cup of that. And so all you do is mix your salt and your flour together. You could use a bowl and a spoon if you're brave. Or you can mix it up in a Ziploc bag. That kind of contains the mess, and you get lots of good squishing action. So it kind of depends whether your kids are going to be interested in squishing or in stirring. So after you've mixed your flour and your salt together, just pour in the water and then squish or stir. And at first it's going to look really sticky. And in fact, when I tried it, I did it in the Ziploc bag. I actually had to rip the Ziploc bag to get the dough out. And you're going to think, oh, Karen, this isn't working at all. But trust me, it works great. What has to happen is you've got to knead it. So it's really fun. This is a really great tactile activity. One warning, it is using salt. I had a little cut on my hand, and it did sting a little bit. So just beware of that. If you've got any open sores on your hand, you might want to wear a Band-Aid. But just knead it for just a few minutes, and you'll have this beautiful dough that can be used for any number of things. You could roll it out and make shapes and press things in it. You can let it air dry and paint it. You could use it as a kind of a glue to hold straws together, and you could build towers. So the things you can do with salt dough are just innumerable, and it's a great way to keep kids entertained.
So can I ask you something? Because this stuff is so old. I remember making it as a kid myself with my mom, and then my daughters would do it. But the recipe I had, I probably have it tucked away somewhere, but we would put it in a pot. We would boil it on the stove, so it was real hot.
Yes, there is a recipe that's slightly different that uses some cream of tartar and a little bit of oil, and you can cook it. So there's tons and tons of recipes. This is the simplest one that kids could do and not have to worry about adult supervision with a hot surface. And you don't have to wait for it to cool.
Hey, you know what else happens with it?
This one.
And you know what else happens with it? Because it's so incredibly salty and the kids don't know that, you know how we all have had the Play-Doh eater among us? All it takes is one bite of this one and they're done.
They're done. Exactly. So the reason that I chose this activity is, one, it's so simple and you can do it anywhere with any number of kids. Adults love it. You could make Christmas ornaments for the future coming up. It's just a great activity. But it really reminded me of my summer camp experiences, because I always loved doing the craft activities. And the Creative Discovery Museum is having 2 virtual camps coming up here. They're available for registration online right now. If you go to cdmfun.org/camps, you can get the information about them. The first one is an art camp. You'll be using clay and doing weaving and all kinds of mixed media projects. And the second camp is a STEAM-focused camp, and you'll be designing and building a water park. Doesn't that sound fun? A slip slide and a lazy river and all those things. So it's kind of strange because it's a virtual experience. Kids will be connecting through the internet and doing the activities kind of separate and coming back and connecting and sharing what they've done with the other guests
But
or the
Karen,
other participants in the camp.
since it will be virtual, and I know it's not the same thing, nothing can replace live and in person, but if you have family here in Chattanooga, maybe your sister lives in Des Moines, and your kids have cousins there, could they all join in?
Certainly, yeah. Just register for the camp and you'll receive the information. The kits might be a little different because what we're doing is we're providing all of the materials needed for the activities in a box that kids could then come to the museum and pick it up.
Okay.
So for someone who's out of town, we would have to make special arrangements to mail that, but I don't know why that couldn't be done. That could be really fun. And that was part of the great fun of going to summer camp, was doing things that you'd never done before and developing a little bit of independence from your family and meeting new friends from around the country. So that would be a great experience.
Yeah, so forgive my ignorance. So when the camp starts, are they going to be zooming in? Will they have some way to see who else is part of the camp?
Exactly, yes.
So who came up with the water park idea, and is that for a certain age group?
Yes, so all of these camps are for 3rd through 6th grade, rising 3rd through 6th graders. And the first camp starts June 15th, so there's not very much time, so hurry up and register for that one. And the second one starts June 22nd, and they run for 5 days. They start at 9 o'clock, and they're usually done by 2 to 2:30. They'll have, you'll eat lunch at your home, obviously, but the kids will connect through Zoom or whatever technology they're using to share stories and to talk and have a social lunch experience.
How very, very fun. And before I let you run, can you add food coloring to your Play-Doh if you want to?
You certainly can, and it makes it way more fun than plain old white, but since I have no little children at home anymore, I was fresh out of food coloring. But yes, you can make it lots of fun different colors, yes.
All right, well, Karen, thank you as always for the smile. And the virtual camp begins June 15th, the first session. So as she's saying, you don't want to wait too long. Go to cdmfund.org to sign up and learn more about what they're doing at the Discovery Museum. Great to see you, Karen.
I'm Alex Trebek, here to tell you about the Colonial Penn program. If you're age 50 to 85